Hello, my name is Heejae. I'm from SkySam International Christian School. He cannot see the forest for the trees. This maxim is used to criticize people who have an overly narrow viewpoint. But what if that itself was too narrow a way to look at the issue? In the matter of our current pandemic, let us suppose that the trees represent personal freedom and the forest indicates public safety. For those who see the trees first, individual liberty is more important than public safety. Those who focus on the forest think the opposite. We are in a pandemic, and now we must seriously think about balancing personal freedom and public safety. In times like these, what we need is not merely an emphasis on individual rights and opinions, but also a sense of selflessness and responsibility for our community. Vince Lombardi, one of the most famous coaches in the National Football League's history, said, "The key factors in making an exceptional team are excellent coaches and players and a sense of team spirit." In Taiwan, only about 10 people died due to the novel coronavirus. How is this possible? Local government officials say that the pandemic was prevented by responsible citizens wearing masks in public places. According to virtually all relevant medical literature, masking significantly decreases the chances of catching the virus. We have to work as a team to overcome this crisis. Wearing a mask demonstrates a sense of community and caring for others. However, I do not think governments should excessively restrict personal freedoms. It's crucial that the governments implement fair policies. For example, in Korea, the fairness of government's regulations was a hot topic. Previously, the Korean government did not allow dining in at major coffee franchises like Starbucks, only in independent cafes, even though they make up 90% all the cafes in Korea. This kind of unreasonable administration both infringes upon freedom and actually interferes with public safety, since people would cluster in smaller cafes. When the government implements undemocratic policies, citizens lose faith in them and no longer follow their guidelines. In a crisis like the COVID-19 pandemic, personal freedom may need to be restricted, but governments must explain why citizens must comply with their guidelines and build a social consensus with them. In conclusion, yes, we need to learn how to see both the forest and the tree. If we choose to sacrifice a single tree to mere neglect, we may precipitate a crisis that could cause the whole forest to wither. To best preserve the forest, we must tend to each tree individually without becoming blind to the wider situation. A strong sense of community and fairness will be the key factors to balancing personal freedom and public safety. Thank you.
Very good. Heejae,
Yep.
how is the situation in your school? School already open or still closed, and you rely on the remote virtual learning? What is current situation there in your school?
Our school?
Yeah.
Our school opens our school, but we keep social distancing and wear a mask.
The school is open.
Yes.
how about the others? Other high schools? Is there any established guidance from the government authorities related to the what should be done at the high schools?
Yes.
Or in case of the middle school or elementary schools?
Yes. Are you asking our school or public school?
Your school, and also in case of the other middle schools.
Yes.
In Korea at the moment.
Yes.
They are allowed to open full-time or some limitations still?
Okay. My school is private school, so the governments didn't enforce our school to close, but for public schools, after nowadays COVID is growing bad, so the government said close your schools, and only every 2 weeks students go to school. And they didn't go to school for 2 weeks. So in a month, 2 weeks go to school and 2 weeks stay at home.
I see. Okay, a lot of still troubles, right?
Yes.
I hope the situation improves quickly.
Yes.
And all the students can continue their expected studies at the your academic institutions.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Out of curiosity,